Good evening, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. So, if you'd like to know what I'm addicted to, other than the little things like working, trying to save the world, stuff like that, chapstick. I'm such a chapstick addict. In fact, they had CA for Chapsticks Anonymous. I would be their best customer. In fact, I'd have to have interventions on my chapstick usage. I'm really quite addicted. So much so that if I don't use chapstick, I feel like my lips get so chapped that I can no longer speak. I can no longer make a smile. I feel like my lips start cracking. I have actual mental issues when I don't use chapstick. Really odd, right? Like you should really consider, oh, should we really talk to this guy Anthony, or should we kind of certifiably like put him somewhere? Well, welcome, 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 welcome. We'll give it a couple of minutes. Let's see if there's any good music playing today. So unfortunately, when you play something on YouTube and you put it on pause for some time, it just barrages you with ads when it comes back. So I suspect I'll maybe get 10 seconds of enjoyment. All right, we're coming into the room. I'll give it one more minute. Well, 2 more minutes. It's only 8:01. So how is everyone today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's Thursday. How freaking exciting. Really, really exciting, which means tomorrow's Friday, which means the next day Saturday. And yes, Anthony, I know how a calendar works, right? But Sunday is the day that I actually don't do a live. I actually just kind of like relax a little bit. Well, relax as much as one can, right? Like my mind's always thinking about the next thing, but I do it from the comfort of home. And see, like the music's already done because we watched it for 10 seconds and YouTube believes I should watch an ad. I should watch 2 ads. You know what, YouTube? I could throw you out a window right now. All right. I purchased my Rhino coin. One, well, welcome. Super, super cool. So actually, as it pertains to Rhino coin, it's been wildly successful. A lot of, hey, Carrie, a lot of people have participated. In fact, if you had not participated yet, you're amongst the minority. And that's not me saying that, that's me simply messaging that, right? Like I observe it and I'm being the messenger. So I do actually want to spend some more time tonight on taking a step back, right? Like what is it that we do? What is it that we're looking to accomplish? How is it that we're going to accomplish it? And how can everyone participate, right? So for the last couple of days, we want to have a bit of a structure, right? Like let's start off, let's go through the email, let's take a look. But maybe we don't need to read every word, right? Like maybe we don't need to spend a half hour on that. Because what I'm finding is the coin, which is really the most important part of the conversation, right? It's not that everything means nothing and the coin is everything. No, the coin is the actionable part of everything meaning something, right? So you could believe, have a light bulb moment, believe, see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, that's fine. But if you don't have an actionable thing, an actual next step to take advantage of everything you believe, then it was all for nothing. It's like when someone's having a conversation with you and they're saying, yeah, and then I know, and then you know what to do, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, I'll see you later. It's like, why did we have that whole conversation? Isn't there something I'm supposed to do to make sure that happens? And that's the coin. So for me to allow to go 55 minutes, 57 minutes and never get to the coin, I'm doing everyone a disservice. So let's go ahead and see if we could go ahead and be a little bit more structured, more efficiently, right? This is our first week launching. And because we've committed that every step was always going to be together, we're exploring this together, right? We're exploring what these conversations look like, what works for them, what the level of passion should be, what's the level of talking. Anthony, it's 4 minutes and you're still blabbing, right? Like I understand, so let's go. All right, so I'm gonna do a shared screen. Let's jump into that. We have Google over here. So this is the email that went out today, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Mission statement, we do all know. But I always like to, you know what? We're not going to read it. Everyone will be attending tonight. Austria rises up. Resilience is not futile. The Austrian military and the police are the first in the world to stand for human rights against the foreign agenda. What we need to be aware of is a good old-fashioned military coup dragging these politicians into some countries to put the fear of revolution in the rest of them. That is how political contagion unfolds. Only when the military and police decide to defend the people's way of life instead of destroying the future of their children will justice ever rise from the ashes. And it's when this becomes evident that countries escalate the lockdowns to prevent this outcome. Hey, Abdul. The reason I went ahead and cited that was because, so when you have a citizenship that can be linked one way or another, right? You have your Democrats, you have your Republicans, right? And it should be 50-50 and you fight it out and you make some concessions and that's what a country is, right? Everyone agrees to the compromise that's made. Then it goes to the next step that when the country and those that are in power say, you know what, we don't really care what those people say. We're the 1%. We have all the money. They're our peasants and they should do what we say. When they go ahead and take that to the next step and say, you know what, we're just going to make mandates, then the citizens feel like they no longer had a vote. The democratic process didn't work. Therefore, they get a little upset. When that gets to a certain magnitude, those people that get upset stand up and revolt. Now, what the leaders of the country, the top 1%, have in their back pocket is they have the military and the police. They could go ahead and squash any uprising. And a lot of people have thought that's what lockdowns really are, right? If they could go ahead and get people comfortable with staying home, then they could move the lockdowns to pollution. Oh, it's bad outside. You just stay home. You better stay home. We're worrying about your safety. If you're able to keep people at home, well, then they can't congregate to cause any type of revolution or revolt. The reason I mentioned Austria is because this is the first major country where the military is saying, whoa, 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 we don't agree with you, Congress and top 1%. What you're doing is wrong. We're with the people. And they stood up against the Congress and the establishment. And not establishment is a cute little term, but the political leaders, the elected officials, the high net worth individuals. And it's something like that that other countries take a look at. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you see what happened in Austria? The military actually stood up to the country. If that happens in our country, we have a real serious problem. So, okay, let's figure out more stuff to get more mandates in. Let's go ahead and make sure we squash that. We cannot allow that to happen. Because if those 99% people ever start congregating, it's off with our heads, and we can't allow that. Therefore, let's put it down. The reason I mention all this is twofold. One, you need to know where things are going in order to prepare yourself for where they're going, right? It's not okay to be an ostrich and stick your head in the ground and say, oh, I couldn't know. How could I have known that? They didn't report that news here. No, it's your obligation to know. You're a reasonable adult, you're a responsible human being. You need to know what's going on in the world. But secondly, because the wealth gap, because the income inequality, it allows two classes of citizens. It allows an elite class and allows like a feudal class, right? Like you have your leaders and your lords like in medieval times, and you have your peasants. The 99% is essentially those peasants, because you nor I can go up and make any kind of change. I don't have a Twitter that allows it. I don't have a network that allows it. I'm not an elected official. I don't know all those people. Neither do you. But what about the people that do? They live by a different set of rules. Is that fair? And of course it's not fair, right? So we could say, Ant, that's not fair, but what are you going to do about it? Well, that is what we're doing, because what we've identified is that if we're able to eliminate the wealth gap, and if we're able to empower the 99% over the 1%, now you have an economy and a new world that is conducive and created by 99% of the population. And by any account, if 99% agree on something, it's the correct thing. Right now, we have 1% that has it the way they want, and the other 99% that's forced to eat it because they don't know a way to do anything other than it, because they've been taught the sentence, it's just the way it is. And that's the most dangerous thing, because it does not need to be this way, and it's with the education that allows you to know what you can do. That's why we cite Austria, because that is a shot heard around the world. And every country is not going to air it. You're not going to watch this on your 10 o'clock news. They're not going to talk about this. You're not going to see this on CNBC, CNN, or anywhere else. They don't want to give you that idea. But the people that are in charge, they know what's happening. And they're like, okay, we need to figure out how to keep people home more. We need to censor more stuff. So you have a choice. Are you going to be an ostrich or are you going to be a rhino? Number two, Chinese propaganda equals weaponizing nationalist pride. And I wrote that because I think in being a student of any history, there are certain figures one must be intelligent about, educated about, right? Like you must be educated about Jesus Christ. You must be educated about Julius Caesar. You must be educated about Muhammad. You must be educated about like Gandhi. You must be educated about George Washington. You must be educated about Adolf Hitler. Now, I did not say you must like Adolf Hitler. In fact, the exact opposite. If you could look at someone and find them to be absolutely the pinnacle of evil, does that not warrant you to figure out how they turned from that to that? Because Adolf Hitler as a kid was a good student. In fact, you know what he wanted to be as an adult? An artist. That's what he wanted to do. In fact, he has some of the most amazing paintings. Of course, they're not hanging anywhere, but if you take a look, that's what he was. A regular kid. In fact, his father passed away when he was, I think, 12, and his mother passed away when he was 14. This was a child that was an A student that only wanted to be an artist, that was left with no parents by 14, and then moved to another part of, I think he moved to Vienna, and was left to go figure it out. That's Adolf Hitler, right? Now, the Adolf Hitler that we know is the 36 to 1944 Adolf Hitler. That was a really, really bad guy. The Adolf Hitler that I think you need to know is the 1918 to 1932 Hitler, where he was having meetings with one or two people at a time, where he was just where he would keep his politics to himself. He would meet people that were very anti-Semitic, and he would not know why they would say these things about the Jewish religion. And he would just, little by little, then he started seeing things and he started sharing things with people. And there are things along the way that he picked up, right? His biggest weapon is what he called propaganda. And what he always said about Germany was because they were too educated, because they were too high class of a citizenship, that they never would stoop to the level of the villains that he saw using propaganda. He identified and isolated the Jewish religion, which we're being historians at the moment. We're not agreeing with that. But what he said was this particular sector of the demographic uses propaganda. This is how they do it, and this is why it's so successful. That messaging was able to be heard to people. They understood it because he propagandized the word propaganda. And then he was able to use it. Like propaganda is, a picture of Joe Biden sleeping and the clock says 7 o'clock or the red phone is ringing, right? Where one could say, well, sleepy Joe Biden, he's not going to be there to pick up the emergency call. It allows a 5-year-old to look at a picture or look at a message very clear and say this, oh, I get it. This is what's happening. And in fact, when Germany started doing propaganda, it was during 1918, and they did it the opposite way. So when Germany went into World War I, they thought they were walking into a very easy war, because what the German people did was they put out flyers saying, oh, we could beat those bozos, and I'm paraphrasing, and they'd have a picture of the enemy, I think it was England maybe, of just like two blokes kind of fighting it out at a bar. And what happened was the German military went into a fight that they were woefully unprepared for because they believed it was going to be a walkthrough. And in doing so, that's when Hitler realized, well, if I could manage someone's expectations and frame the way they're thinking, I could effectively control these people because I could nurture them at the most basic level, right? Like if I said to you, I got this new weight loss drug, it activates your M2 Saigon in your brain under this lobe, and it's something that's never been accessed before because the medical community didn't know X1 plus Z1 equals Z1, and our 60-day studies that we're going to be successful based on blah, blah, blah. I could have the best weight loss drug in the world. You're going to look at that and be like, what the F did you just say? I have no idea what you just said. None. Zero. I am not in tune enough, whether I'm not educated enough, whether I don't have the focus to even understand what you just said, Anthony. I bet you I could have a placebo, a sugar pill that I could package, and my marketing campaign could be, finally, a pill that turns on weight loss. And you know what people think? I'll tell you what people think. what a 5-year-old would think. Oh, turn on, like a light switch. Lights are off, turn on, lights are on. This pill turns on weight loss? Okay, right now my weight loss is off. I'm a fat guy. I could turn it on, my weight loss is turned on. That pill will outsell that super duper 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 pill 100% of the time because you were able to propagandize, you were able to put a message that a 5-year-old can understand. The point of what I'm trying to say, and again, here I go ranting, right? In China, they have the largest population in the world. In China, they have, therefore, the largest box office in the world, right? In America, if 100 million people see a movie, it's like, wow, that's incredible. In China, excuse me, regularly 3, 4, 500 million people see a movie because their population is over, what, 2 billion at this point? So the #1 movie in the Chinese box office, drum roll please, is called The Battle at Lake Cheyenne. It has been the biggest film in the international movie market that has been beaten everything that's put out by Hollywood. But it's a subject that's alarming. This movie portrays war between the United States and China, and the United States is defeated. That's important. Just as the Democrats kept blaming Russia for interfering in the US elections, that scenario resulted in 70% of Americans believing Russia was the enemy. Again, first of all, so I don't want to get into politics, but there is human behavior that is observable fact, right? I don't know what Russia did. You don't know what Russia did because neither one of us were at the switch. Neither one of us saw what they did. All we know is our level of belief of the people that are telling us certain things. And unfortunately, it's become such a divided world that your news and my news could be different. Therefore, neither one of us know what happened, yet we both believe we do. And those facts are opposite, right? So 70% of America believes Russia is the bad guy. Now, Russia could be the bad guy. I have no idea, right? I'm speaking from a completely non-biased point of view. They could be the bad guy. Or they could not be the bad guy, but the American population believes it because that's what we were told, right? Well, like that, this movie portrays America as the enemy who is putting the shoe on the other foot. The same tactic is now pointing the finger at America. And we have Americans blaming China for the virus. And at the same time, China's blaming America for planting the virus. The point of the story is China's the second largest economy in the world. The point of the story is if you take any kind of trend, by 2030, China will be the largest economy in the world. If you now have China actively re-educating their population with propaganda in the movies that's #1 in their box office, showing films of the US and China going to war and the US losing, it's similar to, do you remember when Jaws came out, right? The shark. Do you know that sharks are not really that dangerous? Yeah, they have these big vicious mouths and they have all these teeth. Do you know the odds of getting bit by a shark? They're so low, but the amount of people who never then swam in the ocean or fell out of a boat and had panic attacks was completely disengaged from reality, right? Because that's what the movies taught us. In fact, you could go back to any movie and see Russians were always the bad guys. In fact, I grew up believing Russians were the bad guys because I watched James Bond, right? I believed boxing was what Rocky did. Rocky Balboa, right? Every boxing match was boom, 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 boom. Then I watched a real boxing match. I'm like, these guys don't even punch. Like, what are they doing? And it was Floyd Mayweather, who was arguably one of the best boxers in the entire history of the world. Movies matter. And that's what China is actively doing now. So the point is, okay, now that you have that education, what does it mean to you? What are you going to do with it? And the point of me saying that is that education was never meant to give to you. The commentary that I offered to you was never meant to be given to you. In fact, if the entire nation got the commentary that I just shared with you and got the facts that we're sharing with you right now, then when China, something happens, or when something happens in America, they would say, whoa, 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 well, we think China did that because they're teaching their whole citizenship to believe this. Or, oh, that's something that is China kind of claiming war on us. Or, oh, that's China, like obviously saying they're not our friend and they're trying to nurture a plan that in maybe 5 or 10 years will allow them to attack us or make us subservient to them. Okay, now that I know that, what am I going to do about it? Do you think your politicians are going to talk about this? Do you think, first of all, between you and I, do you think the world's largest economy in 2030 who is prepping their citizenship now to believe that they could beat us in a war is a big deal? Like, the answer is yes. Do you think it's a big enough deal that maybe we should talk about it or kind of put together a plan for it? The answer is yes. But what is in the news, right? What is it that you're distracted to know, right? So you got to start asking yourself, well, why am I not being told this stuff? Why am I not allowed to have that level of education? Why am I not allowed to have those level of thoughts? Well, because if you did, you'd vote your politicians out. The problem, see, the thing that's really cute about politicians is they were able to take the nation and suppress the education level through generations of actual suppression to make sure that the education in this country is not commensurate with one that could think for themselves. Think about how politicians run. All right, that guy's bad, I'm good. He's racist, I'm not. He's a pedophile, I'm not. He's a misogynistic, homophobic, Islamophobic, I'm not. Oh, he wants to throw Granny out the window. He wants to put you all back in shackles and chains. He wants to do this. I bring my hot sauce everywhere with me. I'm going to go ahead and fight for you. I'm going to, those rich people don't want to pay their fair share. You should not be the ones paying. I'm going to give you free healthcare. I'm going to give you free college. What in anything that I said, A, have you not heard before? But B, has any relevance to the type of person and character that person is? All it was, I want to either do one of two things. Either make you hate them so much that you pick me, or bribe you so much with what I'm going to give you that I buy your vote. That's what politicians do today. And because they do that, they're able to continue to raise the level, raise the level, raise the level. How do they raise the level? By offering you free stuff. What do you think? The people that don't understand what debt is drive me nuts, right? So when this country goes ahead and prints new dollars, that's debt that your future generations have to pay. Over the course of COVID, this country printed 38,000 new dollars per citizen. Did you receive $38,000? No. Where did the money go? Because they're still printing now. They still have more bailout packages. Build Back Better, it just happened. Where'd the money go? How about this? What's a little bit more important than that? Who knows where the money went, right? Like, I don't know, you don't know. What news station is having that conversation? A, do you think that's a good conversation to have, right? Like, $38,000 just got printed on your behalf that your children now have to pay. Okay. Do you think you should have a say in that? Do you think there should be even a conversation? Where did the money go? How come it didn't come straight to me? No. In fact, you probably never even heard that number 38,000 before associated with that. Because when the 1%, now I don't want to keep saying when the 1%, because there is no the 1%. It's a gradual divergence that creates the 1%, right? So the 1% doesn't have a name, but it's people that fit that category. And they can only fit that category when there's only 1% of them to fit it, right? So right now we do have a 1%. There is 1% of this globe that owns 99% of the wealth. That's a fact. Look it up anywhere. What is a challenge to that 1%, right? Like, what is it something that they could be afraid of? Well, if the 99% are educated and start asking questions, that's not good. If the media is free to do investigative reporting and ask the difficult questions to those that are in the 1%, that's not good. So just those two things, how would the 1% combat that? Well, you own stock in the media companies. You have people on the boards. The people that are in charge of the media companies are part of the 1%. And the districts that have low education, you keep suppressed, right? Do you think there's any coincidence that districts that have been impoverished for years stay impoverished for years, yet every politician that runs in those districts tells them how much better they're going to do them? They have no interest in doing better for you. They actually want you to stay like that because what did we talk about yesterday? If you wanted to go ahead and get back at your worst enemy, you know how you do it? You lend them money. When you lend someone money and you make them dependent on you, you own them. That's the way it works. So there is no benefit in a 1% population looking to retain that 1% power in educating a population beneath you. It's the benefit to go ahead and tell them that they can't do without you, that they need you, yet you go ahead and give to them, and that if they bite the hand that feeds them, you'll take it away, and then where will they be? That's how you control people. It's not like it was back in whatever time where you see people in cages. That's too visual. But how about people that are forced to stay home? How about people that are homeless? Is that not the same thing, right? And it all comes down to our original thesis that the wealth distribution is too far amok. It is just too far. But here's the thing that no one ever tells the 99%. I'm part of the 99%. You're part of the 99%. The thing that no one ever tells us is that we actually have all the power. We have all the power. How sick is that? Everything we just spoke about that sounds dire, that you should go ahead and jump off a cliff, it's all resolved once you understand. No, you actually have the power. We have the power. The 1% has zero power. Zero. You know why? Because the 1% are completely dependent on our dependency. And because the 1% is only 1% of the population, they could very easily be forgotten. In fact, if everyone in the 1% died today, would anyone's life really change? Maybe one of the people is your father, right? And God bless, hope he doesn't pass, right? But the world would not, it would go on just fine. You know why? Because the other 99% of the population still exists. In fact, the other 99% of the population would absorb all the wealth that came in and would use it for themselves. In fact, if the top 1% in this world died overnight, this world would be a much better place because all of the wealth would then be funneled to the other 99% that would actually be able to live a life that they deserve to live in the beginning. So what are we saying, right? Are we going to go ahead and do something bad? No, we're not, right? So let's continue. Well, actually, so how do we solve that, right? So what Rhino is its own platform. What Rhino is based on is the premise that, like we just said, the 1% need the 99% more. And I'll give you an example, right? If the 1%, what do they like? They own corporations, businesses, they own all stuff. They're part of Congress. That's who they are. Well, if nobody voted for them, what would they be worth? If nobody shopped at their store, what would they be worth? If nobody paid rent to their buildings, what would they be worth? If nobody went on Facebook, what would Facebook be worth? If nobody ran a search on Google, what would they be worth? And the answer comes very quickly. They'd be worth zero. But the other half of that is, hey, Aunt, we kind of need that. That's the way of our life. Well, excuse me, do you think the 99% of the population can't come up with at least a decent idea, that only 1% of the population come up with the best idea ever? No, it's because the 99% never got the education to do it. They never had the fairness. They never had the shot to do it. So how do we solve that? It's not like you're going to solve it overnight, but you could change the world overnight. And the way you do so is you create a platform, create a new economy, create an ecosystem that allows the 99% to be a part of it, all equal, and offer them education, offer them services, offer them the entrepreneurship to start a business, offer them the ability to take their business to the next level, offer them a community where the community helps the community. So let's say, for instance, all 99%, the 99% of people that share only 1% of the wealth were on Rhino, right? Our platform. Why not? That's what we're doing, right? We're on Rhino. Okay, so they're able to participate in all the different programs that we have on Rhino, whether it's Rhino Wealth that allows them to be successful in stock market research, whether it's Rhino Traffic, Rhino University, which allows them to offer their business up, to submit their business idea, to then be placed on Rhino Marketplace that allows the traffic to come to them, which then allows them to go to Rhino Traffic, which is where we build out an actual mobile business app for everyone on it, right? Now, who's going to go visit these sites, right? We put you on Rhino Marketplace. What does that mean? What's the traffic that's going to see it? Well, remember, if Rhino is the entire 99%, well, then the entire 99% is going to visit your site. And I know that sounds a bit like, okay, Ant, you're making a bit of a stretch. But the point of the story is if you're able to effectively capture the 99% of the population and say, hey, everyone, listen, like unionize them, right? Like, hey guys, listen, listen, listen. They've taken everything from us. But we have all the power because without us, they're worth nothing, right? Like if we don't go to their stores, they run to us and say, hey, listen, please come shop here. We need you, we need you, we need you. Because the mortgages of these stores, the value of these properties, the debt that they take on, make them bankrupt. It's like when your friend's playing Monopoly and they have all the properties and you say, I don't want to play this anymore. What do they say? No, 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 no. Here, I'll give you Park Place and I'll give you a couple of free trips. They need us. So what if you were able to be part of a platform that if you were a business, you were able to be put on a marketplace, right? That marketplace was going to be patronized and visited by the entire community that's all exactly like you, right? The whole 99%. What if there was a platform where everyone just committed to being a part of it and helping each other out, right? What if you were able to go ahead and get everything on it for free? That you would never had to be charged for anything because you are not the person that anyone wants to take money from, because you're the person that money should be given to. Like, not because you need it, but because it's been taken from you. Therefore, no one should take money from you, and therefore money should come to you. Well, how would you ever make this work? So this is how Rhino works, right? So we have our platform. Actually, let me walk you through it. Okay, so let's get out of the email. Let's go to distributive marketing, and let's see where we're on Google. We're getting there. We're getting towards the top of the page. So this is Rhino. So distributivemarketing.com, and the reason it's called distributive marketing is because our marketing is by distributing everything to everyone. We're not taking anything from anyone. We don't want anyone's money. We want to give you stuff. We want to make our platform and our community one of which that finally nurtures and takes care of people and gives them everything. So how do we fund that, right? Like, how can we just give away everything? So let's talk about what we actually have and what's happening, right? So Rhino Wealth is a stock education research platform. Rhino University allows you, whether you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, to submit a business, and then you work with us. We're going to put you on our marketplace, and we're going to work with you over the next 60 days, building you out your mobile app. And then once that mobile app is there, then we recommend you to our entire community. Hey guys, you got to go check out Leon's mobile app. This is his company. This is his mission statement. This is his value proposition. He's amazing. He's amazing. We support him. He supports you. Why don't you go ahead and support him right back? That's how our community wins, right? Okay, so businesses can be quite successful. And remember, we have 99% of the population. The 1% only are able to be successful because they have found a way to say, this population, I own them. They're my people. Well, yeah, you divide them up and left and right, and you make them obedient and dependent on you. What if they just said, hey, go kick rocks. We're going to do this over here. That's what Rhino is. Rhino Traffic, like I said, the mobile app. Rhino Partnership. You're able to actually be a partner of the platform, and I get to that because Rhino Coin is the most important thing that our generation has ever seen, and being a partner is what gets it for you. Rhino Live, you're on it right now. Rhino Coin, we're going to get to. The app, just waiting for Apple and Google to put it on the store. Everything is done. In fact, they've even taken our money. And the reason we say that is because they're not going out of business. For them to go ahead and accept your money means, okay, just any day now. And Rhino Marketplace, coming soon, but it's actually there. It's just building right now. So how does it all work? So as you come onto the platform, you are part of Rhino. You have access to every one of these, plus all the additional platform offerings that are coming down the pipe. So let's say Mr. Jones comes on the platform and he's like, okay, I'm part of Rhino. I have this business idea. Now what, right? So Mr. Jones, come this way, submit the business idea through Rhino University. Okay. So there you go. You go ahead and submit the idea, submit. You're not a robot, and it comes to us. We have a dedicated team that's going to reach out to Mr. Jones and say, okay, we see what your business does. We see the idea, whether it's a existing business or a new business, right? You're thinking it up. We're going to support you and build it out for you. In fact, we're going to go ahead and put it on our marketplace. So we have companies that are already on the marketplace. These are the first 4, but more and more are happening every day. This marketplace is seen by everyone that comes on the site. Obviously, as this company gets larger, what's the community we're growing? The same value proposition goes to everyone. We're not charging anyone for anything. We're giving everything away. We're trying to empower our community. And I'll tell you why. Nothing is free in life, and this is not free, but you're not the one that's going to pay the bill. And I'm going to get to that. But what is it that we're offering, and why would people want to be on it? Okay, great. There's the companies. Let's go on to one of the companies, right? Revive Infusions. This is what they do. The small business, wellness, custom infusions, boosters, premium service. Go to their website. It's still being worked on, but look how beautiful that is. This individual is going to have traffic from here to Kingdom Come just by being on our marketplace, because anyone that comes to it is able to click it. After 60 days of this individual being on the platform, they're going to have, and we're going to be able to say to our entire community, hey guys, go check out this mobile app. In fact, go ahead and download it. Continue supporting our community, which means this company's got 100,000 downloads at the very least overnight. What kind of business are they able to do? What did they pay us for that? Zero. Does that go ahead and change their life overnight? Yes. But is that all that we do? No. So let's go back to the page. So that's what Rhino University does. It brings you to the marketplace and brings you to traffic. We talked about partners. We're on live right now, the Rhino Coin, Rhino Wealth, and all the rest of it. Here's how this all works. Rhino, it has a Rhino coin. That Rhino coin is going to be the exclusive means of transaction on Rhino starting January 2023. The value of that coin then is completely dependent on a number of factors. How many people are on the platform, how many people are using it, how many people are transacting, how many what's the average value of the transaction? What's the demand ratios? What's the weekly transaction amount? What's the growth rate? Because if you're going to go ahead and say that this coin is going to be the only means of transaction, well, then you must know what the transactions are going to be, what the adoption is, how many people need that coin to then go ahead and value that coin. So what does our platform look like, right? If we're bringing everybody on for free, that means our membership goes pretty high. If we're bringing members on from square one and allowing them to grow businesses on the platform and allowing them to build businesses on mobile applications that we're making for them, then our ability to have businesses on the platform is actually quite simple. It's actually quite easy. And in fact, in allowing the members to participate in these services, it allows the membership to move higher, which means the business community moves higher, which means they snowball upon each other. All the while, do you think these individuals would like to participate in something like Rhino Wealth, which has such a tremendous run? Let's see, let's view the actual portfolio. All right, bought at 56, sold at 84, bought at 190, sold at 260, bought at 55, sold at 72, bought at 590, sold at 830, bought at 140, sold at 2, bought at 170, sold at 270. Look at the dates. 10/25. What's today's date? 11/18. This was less than a month ago. 11/2. Okay. 11/8, 11/11, 11/11, 11/15. You're telling me that any regular person who did not pay $1 for subscription, is just simply part of the platform, made over 30 to 40% on their money 6 times in a given month? In fact, that's what they own right now. Well, that seems like a good program to be a part of. And on top of that all, there's going to be more and more programs with it. So let's get back to the Rhino coin. So because Rhino coin is going to be a free floating coin in January 2023, where it's going to be the exclusive coin of the platform, which allows it to be a free floating coin, that between now and then, it's a managed market. What does that mean? It means that we're going to guarantee the market. So the value of the coin starting in January 2022 is 2 cents. The value of the coin in February 2022 is 3 cents. Every month thereafter, it's 1 penny more, meaning anyone could buy the coin at the price it is that month, and anyone could then subsequently sell the coin at a higher price later on. Like for instance, we're on the Rhino coin page right now. Are you ready to sell? Put your information in, put your limit price, click submit, and your sell order comes right into us. Because the way that Rhino sells the coin is what funds the entire platform. if bringing money in through the coin funds the platform and the platform grows upon itself and the more members grow, the more businesses grow, all because the funding came in and we're able to provide the services, then essentially we're able to go ahead and support the value of the coin, right? If the value of the coin in January 23 is completely dependent on transactions and members, all the things that we agreed upon, well, then those numbers today actually mean something. So to go ahead and fund the growth of that is actually essentially supporting the value of the coin, which means we've effectively found the way to capture the value of population. That if we could capture the value of the population in one coin, we could all prosper, right? So for being on the Rhino platform, every member receives 50 coin per month. It's given to you. We want you to have it. For being a partner of the Rhino platform, you are able to go ahead and recommend anyone to come to the platform, and upon them simply just clicking a link to be a part of these meetings, you receive an additional 10 coin just for them clicking that link. So let's get to the Rhino coin stats, right? Like the balance sheet of it all. No, that's not it. But this is to show you, this is the value of the coin January, February, March, April, and so forth. Never before has any company ever opened their balance sheet to anyone. We have. So these are the projections for the coin, and we're going to walk through it and why it's so valuable. So in column A, you're going to see numbers, the weeks, right? Week 1, week 2, week 3. What you'll see is week 1 starts November 15th. We're in week 1 right now. Week 8 starts January 3rd, 2022, because January 2022 is when the coin then goes live to the community, where everyone could buy it at 2 cents. Week 60 is January 2023, where the coin becomes a free-floating marketplace. Now, like I said, we're managing the price of the coin now. Therefore, if you get in January at 2 cents, you could effectively sell in February at 3 cents. We're going to guarantee that transaction for you. But the name of the game is, how do you go ahead and value the coin in the future? How do you know the value of it down the road? How do you know the value of the coin in January 2023? Because in January 2023, that's when the coin is no longer managed. We can't guarantee the price anymore. It then goes on its free-floating marketplaces like Coinbase. So what is the value of it then? Well, we know the value of it's going to be something because it's the exclusive means of transaction on the Rhino platform. And what are the transactions on Rhino platform, by the way? Because all I've said so far is that the Rhino platform is free to everybody, and it is. But do you remember those businesses, right? The membership that we bring on, that we then evolve into their own businesses and entrepreneurs, that we then allow the community to be recommended and referred to and directed towards, and allow the community to patronize within themselves. Those businesses operate in profit, right? Like they sell their products to our platform and they're a part of the platform. Those transactions in January 2023 then become exclusively Rhino Coin, because the businesses then go ahead and install the Rhino Coin wallet to their businesses, which means every business is able to collect dollars, right? Nothing changes, but the dollars then converts over to coin. That coin is redeemable immediately from the business through the marketplace. They could sell it on Coinbase or whatnot, or they could sell it right back to Rhino, who guarantees redemption. The average price over the last 7 days, we're going to pay that business. Therefore, that business could go ahead and receive a coin, sell $100 in shirts, receive $100, it goes to $100 in coin, and then they could go ahead and receive the $100 cash through the market or through Rhino. But so I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's where it all comes together, right? So let me explain this sheet to you. So this is the weeks, right? How many weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3. This is the traffic for distributivemarketing.com. Again, that's our platform. Therefore, the traffic on the platform is quite an important number. And again, it just launched this week, so our average traffic per day is 83. Average number of webinar participants has been 165 so far. In fact, these meetings are really quite popular. A lot of people are on them because all of us are understanding that there is a better way and that we're right there. We have it at our fingertips. It's in our possession. It's in our ability to go ahead and do it. Number of Rhino platform members. As of now, we have 400. That's a nice rounded number because at the end of the week, which is tomorrow, we're going to send out an email for everyone to become partners and we'll have an actual number to share with everyone. But we believe that we could grow that number 15% week over week. Why do we believe that? Because everything that we're offering is free. In fact, we're giving you stuff. We're giving you the coin. We're giving you everything on the platform. We're allowing you and growing your business. We're giving you the community. We're building everything from within and allowing everyone to participate from within and not and then not needing to ever go outside ever again. Number of Rhino businesses on the platform. Right now, there's 25. We believe we could grow this 15% week over week because how are we able to grow that 15% week over week? We're not bringing new businesses on. It's not like we're yelling, hey, Nike, come to us. Any particular person that wants to build a business, we're going to do it with you. We're going to put you on all the platforms. We have the community. We're bringing the community and we're growing them to the business. The business then uses, and the community are partners. We have that all together. Number of Rhino platform transactions, right? We believe that there'll be 10% of transactions per week. 1 out of every 10 people on the platform will do 1 transaction a week. We believe each transaction will be an average of $27. This is the amount of coin that's earned by the members of the platform. This is the amount of coin that is projected to be purchased by the members of the platform. This is the literal value of the coin. If you take the weekly transactions divided by the 1 billion supply, this is what the coin is worth in replacement value. The demand ratio. What is the number of members that are buying the coin, that are being given the coin? What's the number of investors that are buying the coin, being given the coin? That growth week over week divided by the billion supply equals the demand ratio. What's the growth rate? What's the projected transactions 3 months from now versus what it is today? What's that growth rate? And then what's the value of the coin? Now, the value of the coin over here is quite easy, right? It's a managed market. We're guaranteeing it 2 cents in January. We're guaranteeing it 3 cents in February. So this is the easy stuff. But here's where this becomes fun. This is where the opportunity comes in. Now, again, Rhino coin becomes the exclusive means of transaction in January 2023. Therefore, the value of Rhino coin in January 2023 is completely dependent on the membership of the platform as it pertains to transactions with businesses on the platform, because the businesses are going to be the ones that are going to be transacting in Rhino coin, which means every purchase on the platform automatically is a demand for Rhino coin because it has to purchase Rhino coin, because all transactions get settled in Rhino coin, because every business on the platform will be using Rhino coin wallet. Therefore, if you're able to predict what the weekly transactions are going to be, and you're able to predict the growth, and you're able to predict the members on the platform, you're able to actually predict and calculate what the value of the coin is, because you effectively can predict supply and predict demand. Now, I know that sounds a little wonky for you, but this is how that's done. So you see these projections. Now, these go for 112 weeks, right? These are over 2 years worth of projections. And anyone could say, Ant, there's no way in God's green earth that you're able to project what's going to happen with this coin over the next 2 years. And I agree with you. 99% of these numbers will be different. Not that they'll be in the wrong direction or that they'll be markedly different, but they will be different, right? 6,645 and 1 cent might be 6,645 and 2 cents, right? So 99% of these coins will be, these prices will be different, these numbers. So what's the value in projections? Here's the value. And this is, if I could ever say something to anyone and they could just hear me, this is what makes this to be a total success. All of these numbers are calculated based on the previous one. All of the projections are right here, the growth rates. Therefore, every single week when we go ahead and input the data in real time, all of the numbers change. Because when we put the data in real time, that's actual data, that data calculates on itself every week. So if we put data this week, by the end of this week, this whole line will be filled out with exact numbers. Next week, when we fill out this whole line, it's going to be filled out with exact numbers. You could then compare the 2 weeks and say, oh, we projected a 15% growth rate, but in reality, it was an 18% growth rate. Or we projected a 10% growth rate, and in reality, it was an 11% growth rate, which means you're able to then click the number and change the formula. You could change the formula to the actual formula that's to the actual growth rate that you're realizing. The point is, if you're able to update your projections in the most accurate sense by recalculating them to exactly the market, then after 3, 4, 5 weeks, you really can make a projection what it's going to be 112 weeks because you have all the data. So if we agree, like we do, that the value of a coin is completely dependent on the amount of people using it and the transactions and the demand for it, well, then if you could calculate all those statistics, then you know the value of the coin. Therefore, when we go ahead and offer 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, I'm going to bring you to a number that, so when you see the green line, that accounts for, see this green line, this accounts for January 2023. This is when it becomes a free-floating marketplace where the coin is no longer managed by us, where the coin is allowed to be worth exactly what it's worth. And again, I don't like keep saying coin because everyone, oh, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, this coin, that coin. No, it's more or less a token. It represents all actual value because in January 2023, the only way you could do a transaction is by using the coin. And if you already understand how people are being brought onto the platform, how the transactions are being generated, and how the growth is happening, then you could see, okay, all right, January 2023, the coin is worth $2, $2.04. Okay, the next week, $2.38. The next week, $2.77. The next week, $3.23. When you go down to week 112 from today, because today's week 1, the coin's worth $132,397.16. Okay, that's a big number. Here's where I want you to understand the power of that number. Because really anyone could come out, I mean, I don't think anyone could do this, right? But if somebody wanted to be so deceiving and just start typing numbers in a spreadsheet, I guess they could do something like this. So remember this number, $132,397. Okay, that's week 132. This is week 3. See the number 3? Week 3. We're in week 1, right? Week 1. Week 3, the members on the platform is 529. That's what we project the membership number to be, right? What if that number is not 529? What if that number is, I don't know, 200, right? Now I want you to watch something. I want you to notice something. I'm not tasking you with studying every number. You don't need to memorize them, but observe them, right? Observe all of the numbers. When I go ahead on 529, and let's say only 200 members we have on the platform. Did you see all the numbers change? Okay, this is what it was. This is what 200 does. Which means by week 3, if we could update a number in real time as simple as members on the platform, which is your most basic number that you know the back of your hand at any point in time, let's now scroll down to week 112. That coin is projected to only be worth $19,307. It was just projected $132,000. How did it go to $19,300? Because all of these numbers are living, breathing organisms. They all are calculated based on the number before it. I cannot express to you the amount of time it has taken to go ahead and put a level of projections together that allow anybody to see exactly what's going on with the platform in real time. No company has ever been so bold to say, we're going to go ahead and shoulder the burden of sticking our neck out there and saying, this is what we're going to do, to the fact that not only are we saying we're going to do it, we're going to show it to you in real time every single day. Because I'll tell you something. See this number 529? If this number is 700, this number is now 231,000. If that number is 700. Let's say all of a sudden we're doing amazing. Say we have like 1,000 people on the platform by week 3, which by the way, we haven't done a single thing of marketing yet. All of our marketing starts Monday. Let's say 1,000 people are on the platform. That number is $471,000 a coin. You want to see something that's really going to blow your mind though? Like that wasn't enough, right? Do you see what this says? Projected market value per Rhino coin calculation equals 10% perfect outcome. Let me put that in regular people terms. These numbers or calculations are based on a 90% missed opportunity rate, right? This number represents only 1/10 of what that number truly should be. Like, let's click it, right? See this at the end, times 0.1? Our entire calculation is then being multiplied by 10%. This number actually factors in a 90%, I guess, frustration rate. It factors in only a 10% success rate. Meaning this number could quite easily be quite higher. Now, when you say, Anthony, how do you get a number that high? Like, how can that coin ever be worth that? Very simple. It's supply and demand. There's only 1 billion coin. Let's take a look at the membership. Okay, there's 400, there's 460, there's 529. Well, if each member is getting 50 coin per month, well, then each member's worth how many coins after 2 years? In fact, if you've been here for 2 years and you receive 50 coin a month for 24 months, you now have 1,200 coin. Well, what about everyone that's got on since then? They're all going to have subsequently the same amount. So what if all of a sudden, by week 112, there's 2 million people on the platform? Okay, well, what about the investors? What about people that want to buy the coin? Well, we're projecting that every person will buy $20 worth of coin per week. Anthony, that's a lot. You can't say that everyone's going to buy the coin. No, you're right, I can't. But I can tell you right now, we've had people that bought 100,000 of the coin, and we have people that have bought 0 of the coin. Do you know how many people have to buy 0 for the 100,000 to equal $20 a week? A lot. It's an average. There's been 2 different 100,000 buyers so far, right? Like, this is a real thing. So here's the numbers, and this is the most important part of it. 2 things. One, it's a guaranteed market for the next year, meaning you are guaranteed to be able to sell your coin because we stand guaranteeing it for you, right? So the ability for you to buy something and sell it at a higher price, easy peasy, right? If you want to go ahead and sell a coin at 3 cents and 4 cents when it's going to be worth 130,000 in 2 years, God bless, I'll buy it from you all day. But the most important thing is when you make an investment in a company, what do? All right, your stockbroker calls you, I think you should buy this company. This company's doing really good. We project it's going to do this. Okay, great. When do you know if you're right or wrong, right? Like, because that company's not allowing you to look at their balance sheet every day. That company's not live with you every single night. That company doesn't allow you to just click and see where the numbers are at. So how do you know if you're right or wrong? Well, they do a quarterly report every quarter. That quarterly report comes out after market hours, which means the first time you could actually even find out if you're right or wrong, you're unable to trade your stock, which means you're left in the real world on Wall Street, you're left to the surprise of the company 3 months in, and then left at a price that is completely outside of your control to trade at. That's how investments are made. What's most important about this platform is that as the numbers are inputted every single day, you constantly know where the numbers are going to be. After 2-3 months of putting numbers in every single day, every single week, you're going to know what this number is going to be. You're going to be able to just hold your coin and say, oh, this is like the best investment I've ever had. More importantly than that, the way the coin is distributed, right? So Anthony, okay, you're selling coin, how do you do it? The coin is distributed at a 50% growth rate. What do I mean by that? If the membership grows 100% month over month, so say we have 100 members today and 200 members next month, that's 100% growth rate. Well, how do we go ahead and issue the coin? Well, the coin gets issued at a 50% of that. So if you have 100 members and goes to 200 members, say you have 100 coin, it's only able to go to 150 coin, which means from the beginning, we only issue coin at a 50% rate of the demand. Meaning the coin is always going to be managed to move higher, which means we're always going to manage the supply and demand in doing so. Because here's the name of the game. Here's where it all happens. So after this 1 year of doing a managed market, right? So let's go to our 1 year projections. So January 2023, we have 1.5 million on the platform. We have 4.1 million in weekly transactions. our members own 377 million coin. Our investors are on pace to buy 9 billion coin, which we know they can't because there's only a billion coin, which means this is what they're going to be buying and selling as the months go through. This is them trading the coin. And when you buy 9 billion worth of something that only has a billion, it constantly moves higher. This is the literal value of the coin. This is the demand ratio. This is the growth rate, right? Here's what happens. All the companies on our platform, where did they come from? They were grown from the beginning. They were grown from our membership. Therefore, our companies are quite loyal because they were originally just members. Therefore, they know the platform. They've lived with the platform. Their success is due to the platform. Now they're transacting in the coin. They've watched the coin go for a year straight. They've purchased the coin and see where the coin's going to go. Now, here's the question. When that company receives a transaction for 100 shirts for 100 Rhino coin, do they redeem all of that coin or do they keep some of it because they keep it on the balance sheet because it's an investable asset that continues to move higher? Rhino coin will be the first coin ever in the history of the world that's completely for the 99%, values the population, dependent on transactions, completely global, and is on the balance sheets of every company that's been homegrown through the platform as members to begin with partners and every single member of the platform owning part of the platform because every member receives the coin. What's that worth? Well, I'll tell you, right? So that's the balance sheet, right? Now, mind you, where are we? We're right on Rhino coin. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this, right? Copy. I'm now in the chat function. I'm pasting that link in. We're in the Rhino coin page, which means as you pull it up, everyone in the world is able to click this button. Do you know what happens when you go ahead and create a company and allow everyone in the world to scrutinize the numbers? Do you know when everyone in the world sees what we're doing, the virality, the buying, the membership that flows to us? I'll tell you something between you and I. The numbers that we've put up there don't even come close to matching what I believe we're going to hit. They don't even come close. So this is the offer that we're making to you because we're in it together, right? Again, this platform, I need you. It's not comfortable for anyone to say that, but I'm not the owner of this platform. I'm just the leader of this platform. I've developed a way that all of us can go ahead and change our lives overnight. And here's the thing, if our entire population all moves in unison in one direction, which is simply, hey, we could buy and sell from each other. We don't need to buy from them. And in doing so, we could control our own value. And in buying and selling from ourselves, we support and grow the value of the coin that we own. Therefore, that coin is actually the mechanism that transfers the net worth and the wealth distribution back to us. This is how it works. So say you want to get the Rhino coin, right? So in January, it's going to be 2 cents. February, it's going to be 3 cents. March, it's going to be 4 cents. Right now, until January, because there is no price for it, I'm going to do it for 1.5 cents. 0.015. It's in $100 increments. You're able to go to this, and again, we're going to put it right in the chat, so take a look at the chat. Go ahead, click it. Let's do this together. You're able to go to the page in $100 increments. Okay, let's say I want 10, right? Purchase. Now, I purchased one yesterday, which is why it's 11, because it saves the information. So look, 10. 10 times 100 is 1,000, right? Look at this right here. SSL Secured Shopper. This is the highest form of security any website could have. If you do not see it on a website, don't purchase. But obviously you see it here, right? Checkout. Now, this is my information. This is my email. This is my name. My address you don't need to know. You do know my city. You know my zip code. This is my phone number minus the last 3 numbers. If you're so inclined to figure it out, all you got to do is do, what is that, 999 different variations of this number, and you're going to find it. And just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to pick up and say wrong number, right? So don't do it. You put in your information, continue. We're going to offer you free shipping. Duh, right? So upon clicking continue, so free shipping, then you're going to have your card information, your payment information. You'll put it in and then continue. And I'm not going to put my information in here. All this is recorded. Everyone sees it every day. And I'd like to keep my credit card to myself, right? In doing so, you're going to immediately receive a confirmation email. That confirmation email is going to say, hey, we got your payment, you got your invoice, da 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 da. Tomorrow, the certificates are all being released. You're going to receive a certified certificate from Rhino Research LLC, which is the name of the company, in the amount of the coin that you purchased. Now, because the coin is 0.015, so 1.5 cents per coin right now, $100 buys you 6,666 coin. $1,000 buys you 66,666 coin. You will have a certificate for that amount. That will be with you. Every time you purchase coin, you automatically receive another certificate for all the coin you own. That coin is going to be on a public ledger. Now, mind you, you have the certificates, we have the certificates, we have our paper trail, right? It's also going to be on a public ledger on the site so everyone could see what is the ownership of the coin. Because only when everyone knows the ownership of a coin can people truly realize the movement that's happening right now. You then are able to buy and sell the coin at your leisure. You want to go ahead and sell it next year at 100, 200, 300% profit, knock yourself out. I'll happily buy it because it's going to go much higher. If you want to hold it for quite some time to come, you're going to be part of the world that actually gets changed, right? So that's how that works. It's only 1.5 cents right now. Again, it will be 2 cents in January, will be 3 cents in February, will be. But here's the value proposition that we're able to offer to you, right? Not only is it the most ingenious idea that's actually never been done before that we're going to do, not only can I look right in your face and say there is zero chance that I'm not going to be able to accomplish this because this is the biggest thing I've ever done in my life and it's the biggest thing that I've ever wanted to do for my life, right? But more so than that, guys, we're live every night. I'm not going anywhere. We're right here. And you're going to see the numbers every single day. If the numbers are good, it's going to become its own game. Look at it next year when the marketing is at full throttle, our membership's in the millions, and the name Rhino is everywhere. Are you the one that was able to have the vision right now and say, you know what? I see it, and I was a part of it at that point. Or are you the person that's going to wait? And that's up to you, right? So we're going to be doing this every night, but I want to make sure that I was able to walk you through it more effectively. It's 9:07. I try to stop at 9. Last night I went always to 9:30, so I'm doing pretty good. So I would like to answer some questions, right? So anyone asks. So Carl, oh, okay. So I kind of already answered that. So Carl wants to know exactly where you could buy the coin. So I'm going to type an answer to him, which is the link. He goes, I just did it. Thank you. I swear, I can never be fast enough. All right, so Carl's in. Carl, I'm happy that you're in. Good. I have a lot of members still on this, on our live. Anyone have any questions? I mean, we're going to be live. Actually, so tomorrow's Friday, so we're live at 2 o'clock because our community that lives in New Zealand and Australia and on the eastern side of the globe, they want to be participants, and this time just doesn't work for them, right? Thought I heard 0.01 cost. How'd you go to 0.015? No, it's always been 0.015. For the 1 cent is something completely different. So Carl, we're gonna have to talk about that, but it's 0.015. Anyone else have any questions? All right, cool. So I'm gonna let everyone go. Check what Carl's the best. And if you guys are really phenomenal. Okay, so let's leave it there. We'll go ahead and be back at 2 o'clock tomorrow, 12 o'clock on Saturday. Also tomorrow we're going to offer out, actually no, I'm not going to do it now. Tomorrow we're going to send an email to everyone to go ahead and log into opting into being the partner, which means you're going to receive 50 coin per month plus 10 coin for everyone that you bring onto the platform. And not that they have to sign up, just simply that they join the webinar. And that's that. Guys, seriously, super cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye, everyone.